My family is pressuring me to give my good-for-nothing sister my wedding venue because she needs it more and is pregnant. My fiancé and I have been together for 8 years and engaged for 3. I was doing my PhD program and was juggling planning the wedding. My fiancé took much of that work, but it was perfect because our dream venue was booked till after my graduation. So what we did is book our dream venue 3 years in advance. It is really a beautiful venue. The only slot we got was September of this year. My sister got engaged a few months ago. They were planning on having a spring wedding next year. They had no venue lined up, but had a few vendors lined up as well as a set date. Yesterday our parents invited us and our backslashes to a family barbecue, where my sister announced to our extended family that she is expecting. Everyone was so happy for her and my brother-in-law. My nan asked my sister if the wedding was still on the set date or if they were going to wait, because of the baby. She said no, that she hoped to move it to September. We don't have many out-of-town guests so they could attend both weddings no problem. Nan was happy and asked sister if she needed help planning such a short-notice wedding. My sister then turned around and said that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I was really hoping we could kinda like take your venue. I really cannot stress myself too much with planning a wedding while going to maternity classes. And I think it is so beautiful. It would really mean a lot to me. It went silent. But everyone was looking at me expecting me to say yes, of course, everything for my little sister. My brother-in-law looked very uncomfortable and told her that they had talked about this and that it was not okay to put me on the spot. But my sister just said don't be like that. My sister wants to do what's best for me so it's no big deal, right? Definitely trying to guilt-trip me into saying yes. I just said well it kind of is. I don't know. I have my heart really set on the venue. Cue the crying. She stormed off. Nan told me that I was being selfish because she needed the venue more than I did. I tried to defend myself and my mother said you waited 3 years. Would it have killed you to wait a few more months? When has your sister ever asked you for something? A few comments later my fiancé got really mad and we left. My sister called me crying and said that it was unfair that I always get what I want and that I could have done this one thing for her. Dad said it is just a venue and what matters is the person who you are marrying. He is kind of right, but we have been planning for so long. My fiancé is furious with my family and doesn't even want my sister to come. Now my family is threatening not to come because I am being selfish and my sister needs it more than me because having a baby is too stressful. My brother-in-law called me and apologized for the inconvenience. He told me he had discussed it with my sister and she had told him she would not ask. He is properly mad at her now and warned me that my sister is blaming me for potentially ruining her marriage. My father has sent me about 5 texts along the lines of I hope you are happy your sister hasn't stopped crying since yesterday. What's really unfair is how quick they all took her side. My fiancé and I have decided to boot my sister from the bridal party and replace her with my aunt who is the only family member that took my side. We have not decided whether or not we will invite my family as a whole. Furthermore my mom took it upon herself to tell on us. She called fiancé's parents and told them that it would be best if my sister gets it because she is pregnant and preeclampsia runs in the family. Whatever that means. My future father-in-law told them to F off and basically rip my mom a new one for expecting something so ridiculous and that they were going to lose me if they kept playing favorite. So my mom is now crying too and saying that my father-in-law is an SS. Playing the victim sure runs in my family. This is just getting so pathetic. It seems straight out of a bad soap opera. My in-laws are driving to us currently with some supper and wine and basically told me to not worry and that no matter what happens that they will be my safety net. I cried of happiness. My sister saw this post and she lost her mind. She accused me of painting her like a loony and misinterpreting facts. But let's be honest, she was acting like a loony. She said that I was being unfair. That she is family and that she asked nicely because she loves me. She also underlines the fact that the opinion of internet strangers doesn't count because family is more important and I should focus on making my family happy. The only text I sent back was this. I'm sorry that you perceived it that way. I did not in any way distort what happened. As you might notice, I didn't describe your tone nor exaggerated anything. Perhaps you have that night differently in your mind than I do, but I digress. I am sick and tired of bending to your will. My whole life I have been your servant and your doormat. Remember all the birthdays I had to share with you because you would throw a tantrum because you didn't get presents? Or when you cried so that I would fill out job applications for you? But the thing that has hurt me most till now is when you ruined my graduation. I am done. I admit that I also spoiled you, but I will not any longer. If you want to marry so badly before your baby is born, then you could look at Hotel X, that offers last-minute weddings. I have spent too much time planning my wedding to give it to you. And if you want to ruin our relationship over this, then go ahead. I will sleep safe and sound knowing that it wasn't my fault. She only sent me wow. You must love me so very much and blocked me. She unblocked me this morning to send me a screenshot of her talking to my wedding planner. Hello dear, I got the message from your mother and will proceed with the rebooking of the venue on the spot. However, this will have extra costs as we have to change the names on the contract. Please come by my office tomorrow so we can sign the new contract. Sister, that's great. I'll be there at 9. My parents haven't actually written to me since the thing with my father-in-law. My older brother contacted me and wanted to know what happened because he got a weird story from Mom and Dad. Mom had told him that I had offered previous to the barbecue to give up the venue to my sister and that I humiliated her. I told him what really happened and he had no problem believing me. We talked a lot about our parents' behavior and he confessed that him moving was partly due to our parents being poopheads to us. He told me that mom had gotten wind from the post and was mad at me for betraying my family. I haven't written to my parents because I have to come to terms with the fact that they love my sister more than me, if they love me at all. At the wedding, we sat together and put passwords with the majority of our vendors and also with the venue directly. We haven't talked to our planner yet, which is why the text message exchange with my sister worries me so much. Also, we canceled the catering that my parents paid for. With such short notice, we won't be able to get a full catering like we wanted to. But all our friends and my fiancé's family will help us prepare a buffet, and everyone is going to chip in. That will be our bachelor party. As we will have to spend more on our food now, we canceled our bachelor parties and will have a family and friends cooking session. Thank you again for helping me see how toxic my family is. I will try to sort it out. If they apologize from the bottom of their heart, they will be allowed into my wedding, but if not, I still have my brother, who will be walking me down the aisle, and my aunt. We eventually got to calling my planner and she was actually really horrified. She told me she had never talked to my mother since the day we went to book the venue. She assured me that even if they were to call and say that I wanted it, I had to be present to make any changes. So we informed everyone that will work for us on our wedding and they offered to hire security for that day at a reduced price.